Good day everyone. My name is Ramson Bayaw Munday and I am a reporter of the chapter 10. My topic is all about sales and contribution margin. So let's start. Sales and contribution margin. To prepare a segment income statement, variable expenses are deducted from sales to yield the contribution margin that the segment. The contribution margin tells us what happens profit a volume change. Holding a segment's capacity and fixed cost constant, the contribution margin is especially useful in direction involving temporary uses of capacity such as special order. Traceable and common fixed cost. The most puzzling aspect of Exhibit 10 to 3 is probably the treatment of fixed cost. The report lists two kinds of fixed cost, traceable and common only. The traceable fixed costs are charged to a particular segment. If a cost is not traceable to a segment, then it is not assigned to the segment. A traceable fixed cost of a segment is the fixed cost that incur because of the existence of the segment. If the segment had never existed, the fixed cost would not have been incurred. And if the segment were eliminated, the fixed cost would disappear. A common fixed cost is a fixed cost that supports the operation of the more one segment, but it's traceable in whole or in a part of any one segment. Even if a segment were entirely eliminated, there will be no change in a true common fixed cost. Identifying traceable fixed cost. The distinction between traceable and common fixed cost is a crucial segment of reporting because traceable fixed costs are charged to segment and common fixed costs are not in actual situation and sometimes hard to determine whether a cost should be classified as traceable or common. The general guideline in treat a traceable cost only those costs that would disappear over time if segment itself disappeared. Activity based on costing. Some costs are easy to identify as traceable cost. For example, the cost of advertising Crest toothpaste on television is clearly traceable to Crest. A more difficult situation arises when a building machine in or order resource is shared by two or more segments. For example, assume that a multi-product company leases warehouse space that is used storing in full range of the product. Will be the least cost of warehouse be a traceable or a common cost of the product? Manager familiar with activity based on costing might argue the least cost is traceable and should be assigned to the product according to how much space the product used in warehouse. In like manner, the managers would be argue the order processing cost, sales report cost, the selling and administrative expenses should also be charged to the segment according to the segment consumption of selling and administrative resources. To illustrate, consider Health Corporation charged to segment according to the segment consumption of selling and administrative company that manufacture concrete pipe of industrial uses. The company has three products, 9-inch pipe, 12-inch pipe, and 18-inch pipe. Space is company rented large warehouse on yearly basis is needed as needed. The rental cost of this space is 4 per square foot per year. 9-inch pipe occupies 1,000 square feet of space. Then the 12-inch pipe occupies 4,000 square feet and the 18-inch pipe occupies 5,000 square feet. The company also has an order square feet of space. Processing department that incurred $1,500 in order processing cost last year. Management believe that order processing costs are driven by the number of order placed by the customer last year. 2,500 order were placed, which 1,200 were 9-inch pipe, 800 were the 12-inch pipe are 500. Where the 18 pipe, given this data, the following cost will be assigned to each product using the activity based costing approach. So this is the example of exhibit. Warehouse space cost 9-inch pipe 4 per square foot times 1,000 square feet equals 4,000. 12-inch pipe 4 per square foot times 4,000 square feet equals 16,000. 18-inch pipe 4 per square foot 5,000 square feet equals times 5,000 square feet equals 20,000. Total cost assigned is 40,000 US dollar. Ordering processing cost 1,500,000 by 2,500 order equals 60 per square order equals 72,000. 9-inch pipe 60 per order times 1,200 orders equals 48,000. 12-inch pipe 60 per order times 800 orders, total of 30,000. Total cost assigned is 1,500 US dollar. This method of assigning cost combines the strength of activity based on costing while the power of the contribution approach, and greatly enhance the manager's ability to measure the probability performance of segment. However, manager must be asked themselves if the cost would be fact disappeared over time in segment itself disappeared. In this case, the Health Corporation is clear that 20,000 US dollar in warehousing cost for the 18-inch pipe would be eliminated. If 18 pipes were no longer being produced, the company would be simplify rent leased warehouse space the following year. However, suppose the company owns the warehouse, that is not clear that 20,000 US dollar of warehousing cost would really disappear of the 18 pipes were discontinued. The company will be able sublease the space or use for other product. But then again, the space might be simplified by empty while warehousing cost continue to be incurred. So this is the example, my example of exhibit for the segment. So contribution margin, traceable fixed cost, cost margin, traceable fixed expense, product line, segment margin, common fixed cost expense, divisional segment margin. So the example of total. So let's next. Traceable cost can be become common cost. Fixed costs that are traceable to one segment may be common cost of other segment. For example, United Airlines might once segment income statement that show the segment margin for a particularly flight from Chicago to Paris further broken down into the first class business and economy class segment margin. The airline must be pay the substantial landing fee of Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris. This fixed landing fee is traceable cost. One of the flight might be a common cost of the first class business classes. The economy classes segment, even if the first class cabin is an empty, entire landing fee must paid. So the landing fee is not traceable cost of the first class cabin, but one of the hand paying to the fee necessary in order to have any first class, business class, or economy class passengers. So the landing fee is the common cost of these data classes. The dual nature of some fixed cost can be seen in exhibit 10-4. Notice from the diagram that when segments are defined as divisions. The consumer product division has 80,000 in traceable fixed cost expense. However, when I drill down to product line, is only 70,000 US dollar of 80,000 US dollar cost. That was traceable of the consumer products division is traceable of the product line. The other 10,000 become a common cost of the product line of a consumer product division. Why would 10,000 US dollar of traceable fixed cost become common cost when the division divided into product line? The 10,000 US dollar in his monthly salary of the manager of the consumer product division. The salary is traceable cost of the division whole, but a common cost of the division product line. The manager salary is necessary cost of having the two product line, but even if one of the product line were discontinued entirely, the manager's salary would be probably not be cut. Therefore, none of the manager's salary can be traced the individual product. The 70,000 US dollar traceable fixed cost or the product line consists of the cost of product specific advertising. A total of 30,000 US dollar was spent of the advertising clip art, and other 40,000 US dollar was spent on advertising computer games. The cost of can be clearly be traced the individual product line. Segment margin observed from the exhibit 10 to 3, see on page 462 that the segment margin is obtained by deducting the traceable fixed cost of the segment from the segment contribution margin. It represents that the margin available after deducting traceable fixed cost. The segment was covered in all of the own cost. The segment margin is the best gag in a whole long run probability of the segment because it includes only those costs, the cost by the segment. If the segment can cover its own cost, that segment probably should be dropped unless it has important side effect from the segment. Continue of one of my last topic, the segment financial information in external reports. The Financial Accounting Standard Boards now requires the companies in United States include segment financial and other data in their annual reports, and that one segment report prepared for external uses must be same methods of definition that companies use internal segment reports that are prepared to aid making the operating decision. This is a very unusual requirements. Companies are not ordinarily required to report the same data to external uses to the report internally for decision making. This may be seen like a reasonable requirements for the Financial Accounting Standard Boards to make, but it is some serious drawback. First, segment data are often highly sensitive, and companies are reluctant to release such as data to the public for a simple reason that competitors will be having access the data. Second, segment statement prepared in accordance with GAAP do not distinguish between fixed cost, variable cost, and between traceable, the common cost. Indeed, the segment in income statement illustrated earlier that chapter do not conform the GAAP for a reason to avoid the complications of reconciling non-GAAP segment margin with a non-GAAP consolidated earnings. In likely that the list of the manager will choose to construct their segment financial statement in manner that conforms with GAAP will be result in more occurrences of the problem discussed in the follow. So that is my report, guys, and I hope that you will learn some for my reports, and thank you for watching and listening. Bye bye. Thank you, thank you.